Hello everyone, welcome to Echo Art with Carmella-T. I hope you can see me okay. I'm sitting outside because the sun is gorgeous and I wanted to get outside here today. I said, you know what, I'm gonna sit outside and I'm gonna create a Boro inspired patch. And I figured, you know what, I'll just do a video too. So if you're new to the channel, we create with our recycled materials, fabrics, and supplies. And it's our way to give the earth a little hug. I am talking quietly because there's other people out and around, and the porches, they may have their doors open, so I'm being quiet. However, it's totally free to jump on board and join us. And if you are coming back, thank you so much for coming back. I know there's so many of you that love the Boro Sashiko inspired. So I'm going to update you. Well, first let's recap what we did on the last video. So last video we went through all of the fabrics that I had scrap fabrics, and I had sorted them out a little bit, different sizes, maybe 2x3, to 4x5 to 6x7, whatever sizes that you want to create your Boro inspired patch, you can use. And the idea is, if you're stacking them, that a few of them are going to be smaller than your base piece. And I have a perfect cup of coffee this afternoon. I have to tell you, this is the perfect temperature. So let me just show you. I'm going to show you the patch that we made, that we started on the last video. I sewed it onto the piece, and I'm going to talk to you about that in a moment. But something like this. This is Boro Sashiko inspired patch that it is not sewn, right? It's just designed and pinned together. So you see the bigger patch, the one with the circles, is about 4x4, and then the other pieces there are like 2x1, and then maybe 1x1, like that, and then I overlap them and design them. And so you do that, and then you do your Sashiko stitching. Now I'm going to show you the last patch that we made. Put that down. And by the way, this scarf is thrift shop, total thrift shop. As you know, my necklace I showed you on the last video, thrift shop, all thrift shop. So anyway, what I had chosen was an old bathrobe. And so I had the choice to cut the arms and kind of make it, and to create another a Japanese utility apron that would have the straps, and or to make it a half apron. So I decided to make it a half apron. Now, I'm not done with it by any means. However, this is what I've done so far, is I cut it to what I wanted, and then I gave it a hem, and I just did that with Sashiko stitching. I just folded it over. So you see it has a hand sewn hem. Now this waist, the length of this, because this is a bathrobe, so the length of this is 50, and that's probably a little bit extra than average, and I would typically do 40x40, but I'm gonna leave it at the 50. And the reason is this tie right here will tie towards, let me show you here, towards the center, you see, and then this part would wrap. So I'm going to put another tie or something over here. So this is a half apron. Now what I did, so if this is tied to the side waist, one pocket kind of stands in the front and the other one stands in the back. And you know what? It's perfectly non-traditional, and I love it. That's what I love to do, is to create something that is different. So with that, look, this is the patch that we made last time. You see it? And I need to do a few more stitches around, but you can see how adorable that looks. So it's on the pocket, and I was careful to keep the pocket you know, away from the back of the garment so I didn't sew it together. Now I had that choice. I could have sewn it together. Maybe you sew your pockets up and just use them for decor and you put your own pocket, or you keep them and put an extra pocket. So you can do things like that. So anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you. Now, for those of you who are new to the Boro Sashiko, inspired pieces, Boro was created, or at least evidence of it goes back to like the early it's really be way before that. But when we're talking about in the Japanese culture, we're talking about 1400s, and then it became more and more prevalent into the 16, 17, 1800s. And then, of course, then recently it became um, more popular as the Sashiko stitching became more of patterns of adornment, and so they added so much more than the running stitch. So with that, I'm gonna just take another sip of this coffee, and then I'm gonna show you. And all of that was done with scrap fabrics. And this is why I love this technique, because the history of it being even starts with scrap fabrics. So it just starts with giving the earth a little hug. So what I like to do, I mean, you can go straight across with your running stitches, or you can first adhere and just to put a couple stitches into these fabrics that are overlapping, just to make sure that they stay in place for you. So when you go, when you're holding the piece like this, you can, I'm just going to put that there for a moment, you can hold it easier. So when you go through a couple of the fabrics, like you're going through them, you feel a little resistance with the thread and needle. It's only because you're going through a number of layers. So with that, I am going straight across. And when I say base layer, okay, the base piece, a lot of you will be familiar with that as denim or a jean piece, a cotton. So we use typically for Boro Sashiko, you will see organic fabrics used. The cotton pieces, the silks, the wools, and you know, the needle and thread, and Sashiko thread, or your embroidery needle, it just goes through them so much easier, because with your blends, whether it's polyester and acrylic and nanoplastics, there's a little pull, or you could even have what do you call, yeah, elastics in there. So if you can get the cottons and you can work with those, that allows it, so look, you're grabbing about 3 or 4 stitches at a time to do your hand sewing or your hand stitching. And that is how you begin. Now look, they're all in place. So now you can just kind of move it around, do your decorations with your stitching, or however you're going to do it. Bringing the stitches out like this. Here, I'm just going to show you a few more stitches here. When you bring them out, right here, past your patches, and you're just working with your base piece of fabric, you're working with just this piece, you're working your stitches for adornment. You know, you're designing the way you want. So it's okay to absolutely do your Sashiko stitching. It doesn't mean, you know, that you necessarily have to have another piece of fabric there. Boro is for, yes, mending, stitching, repairing, or reinforcing. So you reinforce the fabric by adding stitches to it. So that's the concept of Boro. So anyway, I hope that that helps you. I wanted to share with you where I'm at with my Boro Sashiko inspired apron. And so this is the next patch. You're going to see patches all over mine. In the next video, you'll probably see a number of these sewn onto my garment. And again, it doesn't have to be a bathrobe like I got. I'm upcycling this. It can be just a broadcloth, like 40 by 40 inches, typically, or you can measure it according to the measure that you want. So with that, I am going to, if anybody has any questions, let me know, and I will be updating you on where I'm at, and then show you what it looks like, because I think what I have to do with this one in particular is add another tie to it, which if it's going to do what I think it's going to do, it's going to be interesting and a little diverse and definitely different. So see, I'm sewing this in real time, and look, I got at a pretty good distance there, or made some progress. And this will probably go on this side. I'm thinking, now, does it matter if the pocket is in the back? No, it doesn't. To me, it doesn't matter. You've got 2 pockets, and I certainly could maneuver this so that the pockets are both in the front. But look, this is how, look how this patch looks against the blue paisley. I mean, that's beautiful. You see that? So it's the colors that are speaking and making a statement in the patterns and just the design. So, okay, so with that, I will see you in the next one. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm more than happy to answer. And let me know if you're working on your project, if your Japanese Boro utility apron is going to be a half apron, or you're going to have the straps and put it over your head. If you want me to review the straps in the next video, please let me know. I'm more than happy to do that. And have a beautiful day.